What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Armchair Wrestling. I am your host, as always, top boy and number one booker, Alex Bennison. I am joined, as always, by Lukewarm Jack Robshaw.
How you doing, mate? You all right?
Not bad. And Mr. SoCo Uncensored himself, KC.
How are you, Ray?
And we're going to start off this podcast with three big announcements, two good announcements, and then our announcement. Along the bottom, you can see a ticker at the moment, and at the end of that, there is a code, BUZZ2020, and if you use it at manscaped.com, you get yourself 20% off and free delivery. You know what? This time I actually checked. There is a promo video actually in the right place for once.
I can't believe that. I cannot believe that. Not after the last couple.
So check out this promo video and then come back. We've got two more announcements for you. Yeah, thanks to our friends over at manscaped.com. If you come over to manscaped.com and use buzz code 2020, you'll get yourself 20% off and free delivery. Second one is if you come on over to our Twitter, which is there, Armchair Wrestle 1, we have a competition going on, and we have 8 days left for you to enter, for you to win your very own Armchair Wrestling hoodie. Even Jack and KC don't have one of these yet.
I know. Well, to be honest, if I did have one, all it'd mean is that my fiance would nick it anyway. So,
all right. So KC and Sarah don't have one yet.
I don't have a fiance or a girlfriend.
Or a guard.
Lonely. I'm quite lonely.
Or a hoodie.
I do have. That I do have.
Yeah, so if you head on over to our Twitter and our Instagram as well, there's a tweet that's pinned to the top of our account. Account went missing then.
That's what happened to a lot of accounts after people stormed the Capitol building as well.
Yep.
We're back on this again. I thought we'd left this in the last episode.
I think that's what Donald Trump was hoping for as well, but...
Yeah, so if you go on over to our Twitter, all you've got to do is like it, tag a friend, and follow us, and you'll be entered into the draw. At the moment, there's about 35 people that are entered.
Don't tell them that.
Hey, I'll tell them what the fuck I like.
And what he likes is to be tied up. No, wait, no, sorry.
Jack, don't tell people. Yeah, so on January 30th, the day before the Royal Rumble, we are going to be doing a live show, and we'll be doing a live draw. I'll be screen sharing, and we're going to do it Royal Rumble style. So there'll be a wheel that'll spin, and until we get to the last name, whoever's last standing wins the hoodie. So make sure that you get yourself entered to that.
Oh, that is a hell of a way to do it, and a hell of a way to fill time on a podcast.
The worst part is he's going to draw a name every 90 seconds.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we used to do quizzes and, we get an hour and a half into talking about wrestling and go, yeah, Rumble quiz.
Hey, just wait. I was literally, while you were doing your intro, thinking, we'll see how long this goes. We might do a Who Rumbled.
But another big announcement. We have got our next interview set up for Wednesday, the 27th. Bit of a bollocks for times for the English viewers. It's 11:30 GMT.
They're used to starting wrestling shows at 1 a.m. and watching WrestleMania till about 9 o'clock the next evening.
Yeah, 11:30 p.m.'s a piece of piss.
Yeah.
But at 6:30 Eastern Time, we'll be joined by the man who created everyone's favourite indie-rific move, Pete Williams.
Oh, yes.
I have to
Pete
admit,
Pump.
that is a fun get, because obviously for the interview stuff, like, hands up, I'm probably not going to be there for this, so I'm just looking forward to listening to it.
Oh,
Little Petey Pump is coming to join us on Armchair Wrestling. Hopefully, no Canadian destroyers will be hit. But yeah, make sure that you join us live Wednesday, the 27th at 11:30 for that interview. Also, he's got his own podcast, so make sure that you go check out the Wrestling Perspective and subscribe to them over on YouTube. There's 5 of them that are involved in that. I'm going to pull up the names of them now because it should have been there already. He does it with Darren McCarthy from the Red Wings, Dimitri Young from the Tigers, Jason Kendall from the Pirates, and Lars from the band Rancid.
Hey, I know who Rancid are.
and I have heard of pirates.
Yeah,
And I've watched pirates.
I know who all those
Not of the
teams
Caribbean, though.
Yeah, but make sure that you come on over and check out that interview. That means we'll have had 3 shows in the space of about 8 days. That's unlike us.
Yeah, it's very unlike us.
It's all right. We'll take 2 months off afterwards to recover.
Yeah.
Archie from the Buzz, our resident Canadian. He's less than an hour away from where I live. You're weirdo knowing where he lives.
Yeah. But that's a very North American thing, because, you know, less than an hour. That's, by UK standards, not even that close. We're more, oh, he's, 5 minutes from where I live for him to be local.
So going from one of the best indie-rific move makers to one of the best bookers in the world, Adam Pearce.
Adam Pearce is doing a sterling job, as he's not the general manager. Don't call him the general manager, because he isn't one.
Don't treat him like a GM. Adam Pearce winning himself a gauntlet match to get a number 1 contender shot against Roman Reigns, only to give it to Kevin Owens.
Well, as we full well know, it is within his right to hand off a title shot to a suitable replacement, which is one of those things that they've put out there into, and I hate saying this, into the universe now, and will expect us to never remember those words after the Royal Rumble. And there will be a day when someone goes, well, I'm going to choose so-and-so to substitute for me. And they're going to go, no, you can't do that. And we'll be like, listen, Adam Pearce himself told us you can have an adequate substitute.
Well, what I would say is Adam Pearce, I mean, there was probably have been other ones before, but Becky Lynch did this to give the match against Ronda Rousey to Charlotte at Survivor Series when Nia broke her face.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not without precedent.
No, it's now. I mean, Paul Heyman clearly was aware of this.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd have been more interested to see Adam Pearce actually in this match. Like, even if Roman had just killed him, like, but I know KO and Reigns had a really good TLC match at TLC, but it feels like that should have been that for me.
No, I know what you mean. Like, even though, don't get me wrong, he was way down on my list of potential winners. Technically, Owens was on the list of people who could, because he was in a feud with the champion. So it has taken one of the potential winners out of the Rumble. But, as much as they're good at doing storyline matches involving Roman Reigns, so the work rate doesn't have to be as much, it's more about the whole story. Adam Pearce hasn't had a match in, 9 years?
Was it 2014 or 2015? I remember hearing. Yeah.
And as much as I'd have enjoyed it, it probably wouldn't have been that great.
It seems like something that I would quite like them to revisit on SmackDown at some point for an angle. The only disappointing thing for me is that you kind of know going into this that Owens is going to get beaten again. And I think I speak for us all here when I say we love Kevin Owens. I certainly speak for Jack when I say that anyway.
Yeah. Favorite wrestler ever.
Yeah, it's just, and I'm sure they will have a very good match. It's just a little bit disappointing to see them do something with Kevin Owens and he has to come out the loser at the end of this.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? The bad thing is that he got absolutely battered at TLC and came out looking stronger than he has done for quite a few years. And they're just going to kill his momentum again.
You never know. I'm hoping that this one I could do with slightly less Roman cheats to win. I know he's the heel, but they've overdone it a little bit. Just have a really good 12 to 15 minute match. And Reigns can win. You know, cheat a bit, win, and just have a good match. And then I think Owens comes out of it fine. It's so long as whatever he does next is good. You can't have him come out of this program and just do nothing and then be in the fucking Battle Royal at Mania.
You know what's really going to annoy me, and I can see this happening. So for the audio listeners, we're doing this before SmackDown takes place tonight. I can imagine Adam Pearce coming out tonight and going, and Jey Uso is going to be banned from ringside. And then Jimmy Uso interferes instead.
No. Rikishi.
Nah. Any of the other Anoa'i's. Just... Yeah. By the way, Alex, have you got anything next to your microphone? Oh, and now he's got no sound whatsoever. Excellent. The weird noise that the microphone was making has stopped. It says that you're muted, so it's probably why.
Yeah, I had to unplug it at the back.
There we go. That's better. You were getting a load of distortion through off your mic.
Distortion.
So apologies for that, people.
Yeah, so from one absolutely fantastic, talented in-ring competitor in Kevin Owens and Jack's favourite wrestler ever to Gilberg and that other guy.
Yeah, I did see that he'd been in a few things, but I can't remember what his name was or anything.
Yeah, don't ask. I have no idea either. I'm sure if you're American and you're watching this, you probably know exactly who it is, but no.
Oh, I mean, it was quite nice to see Gilberg.
Yeah, everyone likes Gilberg.
I kind of wish they'd played... I know the whole gimmick is the Goldberg parody, but man, like his original music as Dwayne Gill, I really want to hear that again. Like some fantastic like 80s synth.
Yeah, it was his coming out at the Deadly Game tournament music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now he's appeared on Raw this week. Last week coming up. Do you think there's a possibility that Drew and Goldberg goes on before the male Rumble, and then at like entrant 28, Goldberg's music hits, and it's Gilberg instead?
A possibility, yes, but I don't think they'll do that.
I want it to happen.
Nah, mate, they've got to finally get Carlito in there somewhere.
You know, you look back to the Rumbles where it were like, 2012? From 2008 to 2012, and you see people like Carlito and Wade Barrett, and now you really want them to be back in the Rumble again. Just for a bit of it. Like, I want Carlito to have another run in the Fed.
It's weird with the Rumble this year. As much as I'm looking forward to it, because I always look forward to the Rumble, I haven't really thought about surprises because I don't know if they'll waste many with there not being a crowd.
That's when you put Kevin Nash in. I think you do Oz this year because he's done Diesel, he's done Kevin Nash. Just cycle through the gimmicks.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Actually, come out as Oz.
Yeah, no, the only one that I can really see happening is Barrett because he's been doing work on NXT commentary. The rumor is that Bryan is supposedly starting the Rumble match, so having Barrett come out as 2, bit of a nexus to start.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think it will be Barrett. From everything I've heard from him, he has zero interest in returning to wrestling. As much as I'd like,
say that's not what he said recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said.
I'm trying to think. The last interview I heard was, I think it was on Art of Wrestling, and he seemed very satisfied with his situation. And
yeah, how long ago was that? Because in the last couple of months, he said yeah, you never know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I suppose this was also before he got back to NXT and doing the commentary. But
Wade Barrett has revealed he'd make an in-ring return for a Battle of the Brits with Drew McIntyre.
Oh, there you go.
That's like the most recent one.
No,
but don't read that story. Just read it on Google because it was in the Sun, and don't buy the Sun.
Yeah, fair point. Yeah, I know what everyone like. A lot of people have been wondering whether it's just going to be a boring Rumble this year. And yes, it's probably going to be one of the more boring Rumbles to watch because there's no crowd to pop for any of the entrants. Nobody's really going to get behind anyone other than the filtered crowd noise that you get. So, but it's still a Rumble.
Yeah, it's the first one in a while where I'll be making sure I stay up and watch it live.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm even going to sign back up for the network for a month.
Oh, you mean you're not going to make another email?
No, I've got so many as it is.
I mean, just looking here, we've got there are 9 people announced for the Rumble so far, which is Daniel Bryan, Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Otis, Miz, Jey Uso, Cesaro, and Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
Which
throw Bray Wyatt in there somewhere because of Orton's face.
No, you can't put. I think he'll make an appearance. You can't put the Fiend in a Royal Rumble because I don't want him just leaning in the corner, just taking a couple of punches, pretending to nearly be thrown over the top.
I was going to say, speaking of you going through that list, did you see Adam Pearce released the kayfabe explanation as to why some people can just declare for the Rumble and some have to qualify?
Oh no, I missed that one.
He put it on Twitter. He basically said there's an internal list of people who are allowed to just declare for the Rumble.
Wow.
So in kayfabe, Ricochet is too shit to just declare for the Rumble. Just if we won't be going through shows properly, the finish to that Ricochet AJ Styles match was awesome.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Fair play, those two.
Yeah.
Best Styles clash ever?
No, the oh god, which one? Him and Kota Ibushi.
Oh, yeah.
Where Ibushi did the Phoenix splash into getting caught into a Styles clash.
Yeah.
Since we're on finishes as well, what about Casey Catanzaro?
Yeah,
that's great.
It looked great. I'm not sure that was exactly how it was meant to look, but it looked awesome.
I mean, I've never seen someone come off the top rope with some sort of twisting move like that, and I worry about the state of their knees.
Yeah.
I was more worrying about fucking Toni Storm when she hit just flat onto the back.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in time we'll see what's worse: getting like an Io Shirai moonsault, or Casey Catanzaro landing with any body part. We're not entirely sure yet on any particular body part of the other person.
Now, Io's moonsault is perfect now. It was just those first couple of months where she wasn't used to the bigger ring.
Yeah, you know what I really
lots of knees to ribs.
You know what I really won't want to take at the moment? A lion salt from Jericho.
Why?
God,
He's more likely to hurt himself than he is you, Alex.
God,
Tried his
that
best
looked
to break his
terrible.
neck.
Yeah, it's no Lita moonsault.
No, true.
Speaking of which, have you seen the Lita news? I didn't put it down, but have you seen what she came out and has said?
Yeah, I did see it.
Oh, all right. Hang on. Before you tell me, is this serious, or is now an appropriate time for me to make a joke at what this is?
Well, it depends on what the joke is. It is fairly serious.
I won't make the joke then. Let's move on from that.
Yeah.
What, from the joke or from everything altogether?
No, tell the story. That's fine. Just I will not make a joke.
Basically, in a recent interview, she came out and said that she really wasn't comfortable with doing the live sex scene with Edge. And Vince basically said, either do it or you're fired.
Yeah.
So that's why she ran a contract down and left.
See, when I did that with my head, I was like, this story's fine. And it was. I was like, that is completely reasonable until you added the bit about Vince. And now, I'm really glad I didn't make a joke.
Yeah. And Vince apparently was really set on it because Edge and Cena both went to Vince on her behalf and he still went, no, she's doing it.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
No, weird man.
I'm sorry, but I can't act shocked. It seems pretty much in character, both on screen and off screen.
Yeah, I mean, I've got this image of her going backstage to say to him, "Oh, Vince, look, I really don't want to do this," and then him doing the Linda, "You bitch."
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on.
That's what it needed. Did it need Mick Foley to go, don't even think about it, Vince?
I thought you were about to say that Mick Foley's got a contract to get her out of it.
Yeah.
Moving on, I have just put NXT. I don't know if either of you have listened to Busted Open, where Bully Ray's basically weighing up NXT versus AEW, and he says he watches NXT and sees no glaring errors with the booking, with the wrestling. Like, he thinks that the NXT is one of the perfect products of wrestling at this moment in time, where he thinks AEW still has a lot of work to do.
Well, I'm guessing Bubba Ray's in the Rumble this year. No, like I've said a few times, NXT is a really good show. AEW is a better show, as far as I'm concerned. Although this week, I think NXT was better.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly the obvious difference to make between the two is that NXT's women's division is head and shoulders above AEW's. That being said, they are both very entertaining shows to watch. I have kind of lost a little bit of interest just because of the people who have moved up and kind of who they've been replaced with. I'm not quite taken with like Timothy Thatcher and Karrion Kross just yet. But at the same time, that you're looking at two shows that have got pretty spectacular rosters as it goes, certainly for work rate. And also, one of the things that will get me certainly interested in NXT for the next few weeks is the Dusty Classic.
Yeah. I believe that they've said that the women's Dusty Classic winners get a title shot.
Yeah.
Have they actually put anything on the line for the men?
It's normally the winner. Is it not that the winner gets a tag title shot at
at
whichever
the
pay-per-view it is?
Just at the NXT tag titles, usually.
Yeah.
As I said, the Dusty Classic can be a bit hit and miss, but so far I'm quite into this one. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do now that Ciampa and Thatcher are in it as a team, following Karrion Kross taking him out.
Oh no! If this, oh god, it's starting to sound like the main roster. They're partners that don't get along.
No, this is going to be the opposite. These are going to be the best of friends.
Yeah, don't you gimmick infringe.
You want to kill people? I want to kill people. That's awesome.
Yeah, you touched on NXT's women's division. I don't know if either of you have seen Impact have lost Taya Valkyrie. She's now left. She was the one who shot whoever it was at that wedding.
John E. Bravo.
John E. Bravo. Yeah. She was the one who shot him and has now left the company.
Yeah, I did love the send-off where she goes to jail. And on commentary, so what's going to happen to Taya Valkyrie? Well, she's going to get booked. If she's lucky, she'll go to Jacksonville Penitentiary. And if she's really unlucky, she'll get booked in Stanford.
I mean, fair play though. If you murder someone on a TV show, you should be fired from that show. Like, I think that's fair. In kayfabe, obviously.
Yeah, but the problem is if she doesn't take off in NXT...
IRL, I definitely think if you shoot someone on TV, you should be fired.
Yeah, problem comes into it, though, when, if she doesn't take off in NXT in a few years and ends up back on Impact TV, and they just have to go, yeah, she's that girl that murdered someone. Yeah.
No one's going to remember Johnny Bravo in 2 years.
If she signs with AEW, she might be on it in 2 weeks.
Well, I was going to go into AEW then while we were already on about it, but there is a few other things from NXT that I still want to talk about. Kushida picking up another win over Johnny Gargano in his tag team with Leon Ruff. I think Kushida's look... I think he needs a new look. I just can't get behind him wrestling in jeans.
You see, Kushida is my Japanese boy. It was like in New Japan. He was one of my favorite wrestlers, and I love the Back to the Future gimmick and all of that stuff.
For the Japanese, would it not be a young boy?
No, because it sounds a bit creepy. You'll notice that on AEW, they've stopped saying that Chuck Taylor is going to be Miro's young boy and started saying this is Butler instead because it just sounded weird.
And you said Karrion Kross that you weren't sold on him, but I thought his murdering of a match this week was quite good.
I mean, it's a hell of a way to finish a match, isn't it? Just, I'm going to smack you around the back of the head really hard.
It works in squash matches. It's not going to work as a move in a proper match.
If you put him in there and just to pluck a name out to, I don't know, Finn Balor, I'm just assuming that he's going to run up, and in my head, I'm just going to hear the words "Zika," and then Finn Balor's going to turn and go, "Oh, would you not?"
Plus, it's just smacking him right back at head. I'd quite like him to beat Johnny Gargano with it. Just because it'd be really funny if Johnny Gargano spent 5 years kicking out of literally everything to then lose to just being smacked in the back of it.
You know what he needs? He needs a kayfabe injury where he breaks his forearm and has a steel plate inserted.
Oh no! Don't! You don't want anyone to be reminded of him.
All aboard the Karrion Express.
Yeah, unless Karrion Kross, every time he gets punched, he's going to start going, ugh,
It's all right. If he was in this country, though, as part of the rail service, it'd be the Karrion Cross Country Express. It'd be fine.
Yeah.
And then, as long as you get on between sort of 10 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon, discounted rates as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
So,
as a British travel joke.
Moving on, AEW and the Impact crossover. So it's come out that Kenny Omega was one of the main people behind the crossover coming about. He was the one behind the scenes that was really pushing for AEW to work with Impact. To be fair, I mean, looking at the roster that Impact have, it doesn't surprise me because there's quite a few of his old mates in there.
Yeah, there is a fair few. And this is the sort of thing that he likes doing. And it does make sense for the character because both, him and Don Callis having a relationship is true both on screen and off screen. So it does all make sense. And I thought, and it's working. I mean, I didn't watch the whole of Impact, but I saw most of it. And that's the first time in about 3 years.
You're really selling it.
My God.
No, like
it's big.
they got me to start watching Impact again. And it wasn't even, and I'm aware that Impact had actually been quite good for a while. I just couldn't get back into it. And this has been the catalyst to go, no, you're going to have to start watching this.
Well, there's been some drama behind the scenes for Impact. The Hard to Kill match between Omega and Swan. Swan was meant to have the machine guns in his corner. Something happened off screen with Shelley and somebody else.
Well, from what I've heard, from what I've seen, this might not be right, but they were doing, obviously it was a 6-man tag main event. Swan and the Guns against Omega and Anderson and Gallows.
There's a lot of machine guns in there, isn't there? There's the Motor City machine guns. There's Machine Gun Carl Anderson.
And the big machine gun Luke Gallows.
Big LG Doc.
That's Doc Gallows.
Sorry, yes, the big MG Doc Gallows. I don't know if this is right, but because he very specifically said, "I do not have COVID."
Yeah. He did release a tweet where he said something like, I don't condone people going up to management in bars and getting in their ears to try and put themselves over before a show.
Yeah, I was just Googling it to check I hadn't made it up. Alex Shelley's day job is working with immunocompromised people. So even if he hasn't got it, I wonder if that had something to do with it not being a good idea for him to travel at that point.
I mean, I'd say if I was someone in that locker room, I wouldn't want to be spending much time around him.
Really not like him.
No. Obviously, yeah. If he's spending a lot of time around immunocompromised people, then at this time, is that really what you want to be exposed to?
Well, if it's immunocompromised people, he's not more likely to get it from them. They're more likely to get it from him. He's the one that's a danger to them, not the other way around.
Everyone's a danger to everyone in this situation, Jack.
Well, everyone's a danger to you because, look at you.
Speaking of a danger, Bullet Club.
No, not that.
No, on Impact, it's that.
Let's use Bullet Club.
Yeah,
I have no idea if they're allowed to, mate, but they definitely are.
I mean, on AEW, they have gone to painstaking lengths to not call it the Bullet Club.
Except for John Moxley this week, who just called it the Bullet Club.
Well, I mean, after Jericho's, it's Eric Rowan, Redbeard. Eric Rowan, Redbeard. Eric Rowan, Redbeard. When Gallows and Anderson came out the other week, he at least didn't call them the Bullet Club. It was just kept saying the band. The band were separated, but now they're back together. The band.
Yeah, but Impact can't call them the band because the band was Sean Waltman, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so confusing.
That's the problem when one is a rip-off of the other and then they overlap. Because
they've also... I think they've referred to Omega, Gallows, and Anderson as the Elite. Which, again, that's not the Elite, though.
Yeah, just wait until he's called the Cleaner on AEW and then the Janitor on Impact. we've seen it so many times with the Young Bucks, like the Ring of Honor days where, Adam Cole appeared are they with Adam Cole? No, Super Kick. The ending of that AEW where they did the 2-sweet in the middle of the ring. I don't know. It just felt like it's something I've seen before. Whereas normally when I watch AEW, it feels different. It's unique, but then this feels like it's rehashed.
You see the ending to that week's Impact, I thought of that week. I've seen Impact now. They fucking got me. The ending to that week's Dynamite where they got back together, I thought was absolutely outstanding. I thought it was a really, really good show because it all made sense. But it was like the Bucks turning, but reluctantly. They didn't really want to.
Yeah, and they kept it up the next week as well when they were going to have the 6-man, and it was set up to be Omega and the Bucks, and then it turns out to be Gallows and Anderson again.
Yeah. One thing I thought is obviously Hangman Page didn't join the Dark Order. Now the way that they set it, which was excellent by the way this week, with all of the he said yes banners and everything when he said no. That was very funny. But it made it, the way they set it up made you like really want to see him join. But I do wonder if they might carry on this Omega and the Young Bucks sort of infighting and end up eventually with a 6-man of the Bucks and Page versus Anderson, Gallows, Omega. But before that, they still haven't done that blood and guts match. So I think that they'll probably be Omega, Gallows and Anderson, Young Bucks versus a team of 5 probably led by Jon Moxley.
Honestly, if anything, I want to see Omega, Gallows and Anderson taken down by Page, Reynolds and Silver. That's really what I want to see.
Yeah, I wouldn't get you up for that one.
No, I can't see it happening, but that's really what I want right now.
Mind you, though, I'll tell you just genuinely, a TV match, like for the title, Omega and John Silver.
Yes. Anything John Silver. You just give me anything John Silver.
Because that's right, Kenny Omega's not going to, he's not, I'm not going to sell for him, he's small. He don't give a shit about any of that. He'll go, no, we're going to kill this.
Now, that would make for just... I feel like that would be one of those that make for a great, episode-long story for an episode of Dynamite.
I reckon you could get 2 matches out of it. But I think title matches, they have to be 60 minutes, don't they, in AEW, technically the time limit. So you can't do a time limit draw. If you could do a 20-minute draw and then Omega beats him in half an hour.
See, that's it. If you do it on Dynamite, then it's just till the end of the show.
Yeah, TV time remaining and just go off the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you could show a clip next week of Moxley attacking him with a barbed wire bat.
By the way, I did have one other thought for something long-term that they could do. And this would be way in the future. This is after Omega wins the Impact belt from Swan. Yeah. He kicked it for ages. No one can get the Impact belt off him. No, they can't manage it, so they need someone in. And Cody Rhodes isn't allowed to challenge for the AEW World title. But he's allowed to challenge for the Impact one.
Yeah,
we've all been there. We've seen Cody. You didn't see Cody in Impact, but we've seen Cody in Impact.
Yeah, but I could see that happening because that, he is pushed like a world champion, but they've written that story where he can't go for the world belt. It'd be a way for him to go for the world belt.
Nah, see, the person I'd have win the Impact belt off Omega is our close and personal friend, Josh Alexander.
Well, of course.
Hell yeah.
Although I would say, based on the way they booked him in that 6-man, it wouldn't shock me if it was Moose eventually.
No.
They booked him like an absolute machine.
Yeah, Moose, who's still carrying that belt around, never gets a graphic to say he's that champion.
No.
Are you going to tell him he's not a champion? I'm not.
Yeah, but this fucking Jim Duggan 2.0 found it in the bin.
At least he found a good title.
Actually, our final, the final slide that I've got. Sting to wrestle again in a cinematic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Well, they have now officially announced the match, haven't they?
Yeah, him and Darby Allin versus Brian Cage and Ricky Starks in a street fight.
Yeah. But they were very specific about saying, we'll take it to the streets. So I'm assuming it's going to actually be like outside cinematic match.
Oh,
I think they'll go all out for it. In the snow, because it has to be in the snow, because when Sting appears, it starts snowing.
I mean, I know it's subject to copyright, but I just assume this is taking place in Gotham City or something like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, In WCW, it was all about rain and thunder, and now he's got to AEW, and it's a bit colder, so it's snow.
It's either that or it's taking place from the darker recesses of Darby Allin's mind.
I thought you were going to say
don't go in there.
No.
No.
Yeah. Oh God, Black Rain's going to return to Impact now. AEW are working together.
Meow 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 meow.
Oh, just wait for the next Casino Battle Royale where Relic enters.
By the way, have you seen Impact being so self-aware about that on Twitter?
Yeah.
It's not all the time, but whenever Relic comes up, just once every so often, they'll just reply to him saying, "Do you know that's Killer backwards?"
I hope they reply to this now. Yeah. To be fair, this is the best way that they can get anything out of the contract with Sting, other than him basically being a manager for Darby Allin. Do everything cinematic with him.
Yeah, I have to admit the Sting thing is one of the things that is not working for me at all. And there's not many things on AEW that I think aren't working at all, but this is one of them. Because it's just I see so much of myself in Darby Allin. Why? Other than the face paint, you couldn't be any less alike.
No. You've got to look beyond that, Jack. Sting was a surfer, and Darby Allin surfs on the ground with his skateboard. So that's something.
They're both like Cracker Barrel.
I say we again. You two have yet to experience this, but one of those times when I went to America, I have been to Cracker Barrel. Fantastic breakfast. Just don't get the grits.
Whoa! You've been to America?
I know. There's a lot you don't know about me.
You'd have thought you'd have been to an NXT show or something.
Yeah.
Well, one could only hope.
You know what?
Ideally in the Pacific Northwest.
We joked about it at the start, and we've only gone 43 minutes. So, you two want to do a Who Rumble?
We can do, but didn't you say that there was a topic we were going to do on Twitter?
Oh, we had some Twitter replies. Yeah, you know what? We'll cover them, then we'll do a Who Rumble.
Fair enough.
I'll tell you what, Jack, you're a fantastic host.
Yeah.
It's almost like you've done this before.
Not this. I've hosted before, but not this. No desire to host this, then I have to watch everything.
Yeah, can be a pain. So over on Twitter, I asked what everyone's favourite build to WrestleMania was coming out of the back of the Rumble.
I'm assuming Rock Austin at 17.
Yeah. I was just going to say, did you just get X7, 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 X7?
You know what?
X7, except for the fact that Deborah was involved and the actual go-home segment was shite. But no one remembers it.
No, it's fine. You had the My Way package that sort of did a nice job of clearing all that up.
I had one reply for X7.
That's
I
it.
thought you were just going to say we only had one reply.
Well, technically, I asked this over on Instagram as well, and Liam Slater, who came on the podcast, did also reply WrestleMania X7. The Limp Bizkit promo building up is iconic. It is the best promo build. But SCW Wrestling, which is SCW Steve on Twitter, said the Rock Austin X7 build up. But we had a few other ones. Dan DWE on YouTube said WrestleMania 34 build. So that's Kofi Mania.
That wasn't even main event.
I mean, the Kofi Mania build is one of the best ones they've done, and although they kind of stumbled into it, it was great. But that's my problem is, when someone says just the numbers of the recent Manias,
yeah,
I never remember which one is which, like at all.
Yeah, no, so 34 was Ronda's first match. It's Angle and Ronda versus Triple H and Steph. Because I said the crowd died after the Ronda match because everyone was ready, and she did so well in that match that people was that was the moment where people went, right, send us home happy, and then they had like 7 more matches to sit through.
Yeah, the build up for that was good. The build up for Lesnar and Reigns wasn't, but that's because Lesnar and Reigns just doesn't work, really. Styles and Nakamura, although the match ended up being disappointing, the build-up I thought was pretty good.
Yeah. I was gonna do the Naka.
Right, you've just reminded me.
Yeah,
you've just reminded me of it's the dream match.
Yeah.
Such a letdown.
Yeah, what else was on that card then? Well, you've got Daniel Bryan's return on that show.
I've got the card here if you want me to whip through it quickly.
Before you do, I think that is the one that starts with the triple threat: Rollins, Balor, Miz.
Do you want me to do it, or do you want to do it? Like, you've got a pick here.
I'm just asking. I'm just saying. I think it's that one.
Do you want me to go through and tell you?
You can if you want.
Well, the first match was a triple threat between Seth Rollins, The Miz, and Finn Balor for the Intercontinental title.
Which was good.
Yeah.
I don't remember the build to that one, to be honest. I don't know if the build was any good.
I thought you were going to say the match there.
This is about the build.
I tell you what had a great build and a fantastic match, but unfortunately was kept to the pre-show for that as well, was Cedric Alexander winning the Cruiserweight title against Mustafa Ali, which was fantastic.
No.
Yeah, because wasn't that when Enzo dropped?
Yes,
that's where Enzo disappeared and we had the tournament.
Yeah. No, I just remember the thing that annoyed me about that build was, I don't even remember which way around it was, but one of them going, I'm the heart of 205 Live, and the other one going, I'm the soul of 205 Live. And at one point in the match, they shouted, heart, soul, at each other.
34, you also had Charlotte beating Asuka by submission. Jinder...
God, it's the four-way.
Beats Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, which I really don't remember, and Rusev in a US title fatal four-way.
The build-up for that wasn't good because Rusev wasn't even involved until they realised we probably shouldn't leave him off the card here because he's the most over thing on the TV right now.
Yeah, because in the promo booklets, they photoshopped his face onto the vacant body.
Yeah.
It's like they do with Marcelo Bielsa whenever Leeds play now, and it shows the graphic. It's just Marcelo Bielsa's head photoshopped onto a body.
Yeah.
There was Angle and Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie. Triple threat tag title match for the SmackDown titles. The Bludgeon Brothers, the Usos, and the New Day.
Oh, God, that's when the Bludgeon Brothers just absolutely murdered him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Beat him in no time.
No, I mean, if you give some guys some hammers like that, then yeah. We had a match between The Undertaker and John Cena.
That as we're on about the builds, the build for that sucked.
I've completely forgotten about this. Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon beating Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Yeah, that was Daniel Bryan's comeback match.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan, who was absolutely knackered, but Shane McMahon, who also had like diverticulitis a couple of weeks beforehand, still took all the bumps.
But also, had Owens and Zayn won, they would have had to have been rehired to SmackDown. And I've no memory of this.
Yeah, I'll tell you what you might remember. They showed up on Raw. I think it was the night after Mania, and when Kurt Angle is still GM, and Kurt Angle went, well, my tag team division's full, but I hear TNA is hiring.
Yeah.
And it was the first time that WWE had actually mentioned TNA. I think that Cena might have done it once in his AJ Styles feud, and that was it. Like, they never mentioned it. It got a massive. I remember that getting a massive reaction. Also, in the build up to that, can you remember the noise that Shane McMahon made when he got power bombed on that ladder on top of a table?
Is that the one where he's just like,
just bored, bring back the Zoe train. Okay.
I'm assuming that's Zayn and Owens.
No, that would be Enzo.
Oh.
Yeah. And the I Better Win is regarding the giveaway for the hoodie.
Well, not that many people listen.
Are you willing to pay international shipping, though?
Well, I've done it now.
You've made a big mistake.
It's all right, guys. With this being WrestleMania, we've only got 9 matches left. Nia Jax beating Alexa Bliss to win the title. Yeah. We're moving on now.
Giant babyface beats the tiny heel.
Yep. Styles beating Nakamura. Nakamura low blow. Decides he doesn't speak English anymore. Braun Strowman and Nicholas defeating Cesaro and Sheamus.
Oh, God, the build to that was horrible because Braun Strowman battered the entire tag team division in a battle royal.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about his twin brother, Reigns.
Oh, God, was that in that as well?
Reigns, Strowman.
God.
And everyone's favourite WrestleMania main event, Brock Lesnar beating Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
If it's the one where he bloodies him up. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, match was interesting, but the build was crap again.
Yeah.
I think probably the best builds objectively are probably WrestleMania. In terms of for the main event, it's probably WrestleMania 3 and WrestleMania 5. Hogan Andre and Hogan Savage. And probably Hogan Warrior as well.
Well, we have a few more replies. Sweet Chinwag podcast, which we are actually going to be appearing on next month, where we do a retrospective of Chris Jericho's career.
Yes, so I get to slag off Jericho on a podcast. Get in.
They also said the build-up to Kofi Mania because it was so organic. Daniel Bakley of Stand Your Ground fame, if he ever appears, said Daniel Bryan against the Authority for Mania 30.
Yeah, that's way up there as well.
Yeah, the promo, because obviously that was the opening match of the night, wasn't it? That him versus Triple H. The promo in the build up to that was fantastic. And does an amazing job of making it seem like this whole thing was a plan.
And Kevin Molnar said the build-up for 1992 where Flair wins the Rumble and then it all turns to shit and WWE don't do Hogan versus Flair.
Yeah.
Did do well at a couple of house shows, so let's just knock that one on the head.
Yeah. Two biggest stars in wrestling for the last 20 years.
And yet, strangely, in 1997, the two of them would have matches that drew record numbers in WCW. Who would have guessed?
So, let's go. Talking of old school, let's go old school and end this podcast on a Who Rumbled. Yeah,
it really sounds like we need some music to insert there. Or just like a Who Rumbled or something like that.
You know what? You can have this one instead then. I'm not playing the full intro for that.
Hang on.
I just wanted the music.
Hang on. Stop there a second. What the hell was that?
That's the intro for the Frozen Ropes podcast, which is on the Buzz Network. Speaking of the Buzz.
I did quickly try and find the clip of Vince McMahon going, the Royal Rumble.
Speaking of which, before we do end up on this Who Rumbled, I'm going to play a quick buzz promo. It's Casey's favourite song from our promos as well, but it runs through all the live shows that are live here on the Buzz Network.
War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Bringing that to competitors. Till we see the confetti fall, be ready for war. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Bringing that to competitors. Till we see the confetti fall, be ready for war. Tell them I'm ready, any opponent. The crown heavy and every minute is chosen. A path only fit for kings, and you don't know what this court means. What did you enlist for? If it isn't getting more rings, then you gon' have to switch your team. Trust me, it gets more mean. I'm a nightmare going up against your dreams. First step is explosive like a bomb hit. Bet if I let it fly, I cannot miss. And you ain't got a chance at the top 10 when you getting clamped all night by your locksmith. On the block throwing lobs to my top bigs. I'm a chef, no look, what's the top dish? Tie game, through the pressure as the clock ticks. Crossover, step back, hit a shot, switch. War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Bringing that to competitors. Till we see the confetti fall, be ready for war. This is how champions are made, but it never happens in a day. It's all hard work, but it's why what happens when we play 9 out of 10 times. I'ma left you.
There you are, Casey. You're amused now for the rest of the night.
Banging tune.
I have thought of a way to improve that a little bit. You just need to splice William Regal saying "war" in there. War. Tell them that's what we come for. War.
Oh God, we should do a top 3 general manager things to say. William Regal saying "War Games," Teddy Long saying "You'll go 1-on-1 with the Undertaker," and then we need a third one. I can't think of any other general managers that had a decent.
Is it Eric Bischoff talking about Linda McMahon's tits?
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
Nah, if I was picking, I'd just go Regal again because I love him, and it'd be him saying "You manga."
So, you two are going against each other in a Who Rumbled.
Yeah.
I do not do well in these.
No, but I've picked a fairly recent one. And I say fairly recent, it's actually 7 years ago. The 2014 Royal Rumble. And don't worry, I can show you. We do actually have a coin this time. Because when we used to do this audio, we had no fucking idea if we actually had a coin or not.
Yeah.
So, KC, heads or tails?
Tails.
It is tails.
Get in! Right, I'll take the win now.
First or second?
You gotta go first, haven't you? Put pressure on the other guy straight from the beginning.
Right, so this is the 2014 Royal Rumble. If you want to join in, put it in the comments. I'm going to trust that Jack and KC don't look at the comments.
Tell you what, I will stop holding my microphone.
I will load up Wikipedia.
So I can go like this and sit over here.
So, 1 to 30. KC, let's go.
I'm going to go with Alberto Del Rio.
Entering at number 27, Alberto Del Rio.
I wasn't sure, so it'd have been really funny if his first one was wrong. So 2014, I better not have mixed up my years. Batista.
Entering number 28, Batista. Okay, so you can get 29 here.
I was going to say that's the build-up to the Mania we were just speaking about then. The man who got booed out of the building, Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, number 30, Rey Mysterio. Poor Rey. Poor fucking Rey.
It did him good. He's in excellent shape now, and I put it all down to this.
Oh, in fact, even this list has the who they were eliminated by. I can tell you Del Rio was eliminated by Batista.
Yeah. Well, the last elimination from that Rumble was Batista eliminating Roman Reigns.
Correct.
And had Roman Reigns won it that year, you'd have had a massive babyface star.
Coming in halfway through the Rumble as well, number 15, Roman Reigns.
That means the other big story that came from that Royal Rumble was the man who found himself in a lawsuit with WWE shortly afterwards, Mr. Phil Brewer.
Whoa.
Phil Brewer.
Phil Brewer.
No, Phil the Power Taylor was not in the Royal Rumble. Yeah, CM Punk.
Entering number 1, CM Punk.
Then, if memory serves me correctly, the man who gave him a concussion in that match, Kofi Kingston.
Entering number 8, Kofi Kingston.
The man who was dispatched to get rid of him from the match, Kane.
Entering number 5, Kane.
You know what? Because of the way that happened, I couldn't remember if Kane was actually an entrant in that match, or if he just came out to grab him. So I really want to know. Right. So who will have been in that match? I'm honestly out of absolute certains. No, that's for next year. If Kofi was in it, Big E.
Entering number 29, Big E.
Now, I'm going to ask for a little bit of leeway on this one.
No.
Because I think that there may have been I'm not sure his gimmick at this point. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Stardust.
I'll just say I'm willing to give him Cody Rhodes or whatever, if it's right.
Number 4 is Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
Well, if 2 of them were in it, Xavier Woods.
Xavier Woods was not in the Royal Rumble.
Chat, Xavier Woods never gets to do the good things. Come on. Let's have a think. Presumably, in that case, I don't know what I'm saying in that case. Presumably, just because he's been around forever, The Miz.
Entering at number 18 is The Miz. Is Mizark.
That'd be a hell of a gimmick.
That's a different one. Oh, God. We're back to DX blacking up.
Managed by Donald J. Trump.
I tell you who Mark Henry wouldn't be managed by is Ryback. Does not like Ryback.
Or walking at the moment.
Yeah. Who? Right. Seth Rollins.
Entering at number 2, Seth Rollins. Casey, you're a life up here. I couldn't tell if he was frozen then until I saw his eyes move.
I'm going to use the Jack logic here with the New Day and just assume that if Rollins and...
Oh, there's his sound coming in.
I'm going to assume that if Rollins and Reigns are in there, that Dean Ambrose is also in the match.
Dean Ambrose at number 11. I feel like there is a massive there's a massive delay.
Dean Ambrose?
Ages ago. Yes. Right. KC, fuck off and come back.
Are you getting a huge delay too?
Yes.
Well,
I have told it.
It did fix it when we were doing it before, so we'll see if it does it again.
Yeah. 3-2. You know what? While we wait for him, we will play a little clip where you can find all the social media for The Buzz.
Get the Lambo car, house in the hills with the stars. Told you I'd raise the bar, told you that I'd go far. Baby, it's crystal clear. I'm not a souvenir. I'm not an accessory. I'm a necessity. So come and check me out now. I'm a check me out now.
Got some
Hi,
weird you got some weird entrance music. Yes, Dean Ambrose was correct.
Get in.
Right. 2014. I mean, they always treat him badly enough that he could have been left off, but Cesaro?
Entering number 21, Antonio Cesaro.
Gotta say, so far, considering this is now a Royal Rumble match that is not well remembered, it's a fairly strong lineup so far.
Yeah.
Are you about to say it drops off a cliff?
Yeah.
There's one or three questionable entries.
Let's have a think. Let's go with. I'm gonna go with Bray Wyatt.
You're gonna go Bray Wyatt.
I'm going Bray Wyatt.
You shouldn't have done.
Damn it.
He's not in the Rumble.
Oh, sorry. I just had a flash. I'm fairly sure Luke Harper is though.
Entering at number 22,
Right,
Luke Harper.
because I remember OSW Review making a joke that if you ever wanted, I think it was this year, if you ever want a perfect recording of his music, just listen to his entrance from this, because no one makes a sound. Which is down to the booking, not down to him, but it's true. Like, he came out and no one made any noise.
Did like his entrance theme though.
I've already mentioned him. Is Ryback in this Rumble?
Number 26, Ryback.
The big guy.
I can't remember if anyone's said him yet, but he's been around forever. So Dolph
Ziggler at number 12.
I feel like this is at the point when he got put into every Royal Rumble match to be the Iron Man. So I'm going to say Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho is not on the list. Ooh. You were 3-2 up. You are now 2-1 down.
Yeah, which is an odd way for scoring to work, isn't it?
Yeah.
two goals taken off.
Fucking shithousery.
R-Truth?
R-Truth at number 13.
Get in.
Oh,
I've got to be careful now.
He's panicking now.
Careful now. Down with this sort of thing.
Man, who else? Because so far we've got a pretty star-studded lineup.
Oh God, whose gimmick was that? Who else but? Oh no, it was Canyon, wasn't it?
Yeah. Who played it in Canyon?
That sounds like a South Park impression of Chris Canyon.
No, he's not in the Rumble.
Damn it. Who else has been around forever? That could be anyone.
This episode of Armchair Wrestling.
Yeah.
Stuart, I'm going all out for this one. Again, someone I've already mentioned. Kevin Nash.
Entering at number 14.
Oh, well played.
Kevin Nash.
It's always Kevin Nash.
I'm not 100% on the year, but I know he debuted at the Rumble, and I know CM Punk was in the ring when he debuted. So I'm going to say Rusev.
Alexander Rusev at number 6.
He had a name. He had a full name. And he was Bulgarian then.
Yeah, so did Cesaro. Had a full name. And so did Big E Langston.
Yeah.
God, people used to have last and first names. Oh.
Now we've got Riddle. But that might be an SEO issue. We're not entirely sure.
I'm waiting for just Thatcher.
I could see that.
We're waiting for Thatcher.
Thatcher, Ciampa.
Johnny.
It won't be. Yeah, I'm going to say it won't be Gargano. That's too hard. Johnny.
I'll
Shouldn't
tell
say
you what.
hard.
When Johnny Gargano gets promoted, he's definitely going to be billed as some type of dog. Because Vince bloody loves a little person as a dog.
I'll tell you what, though. He won in the 2014 Royal Rumble.
No, he wouldn't. So that one, out of under pressure, I'm going to say Sheamus.
Sheamus at 17.
Good shout. I am now, like, I had a couple of brainwaves of people that I did think that was pretty confident on, but I'm out of them now.
2014 Royal Rumble. Got to keep mentioning it for the people that keep popping in and out.
I'm just trying to think of people who've sort of just been there as like a mid-card for ages. Zack Ryder?
Zack Ryder was not in the Rumble.
Sudden
He's
death.
won all.
Both on his last life.
I think, and this is, I don't know if I've got my years mixed up, but Jack mentioning R-Truth makes me think this might be the Rumble with Bubba Ray Dudley.
R-Truth was number 2 in that Rumble. He was number 13 in this Rumble. There's no Bubba Ray.
Ah, bastard.
He went first, didn't he? So I have to get...
Yeah. To win.
Right.
Will the pressure get to him? Can he remember 7 years ago?
Not really.
I'm just going to take a nonchalant sip of my drink.
I would, but mine's empty.
I'll just do it anyway.
Right, he was in one, and it's either this one or the next one. But El Torito was in a Rumble, so I'm going to go with that.
Oh,
Jack has gone El Torito
It's either this or 2015, but I can't remember which.
to win the Who Rumble for 2014. Entering at number 20 is El Torito.
I wasn't sure on the year. And you know what? The more I think about it, I think my logic was wrong there and I've got lucky. Because I was thinking about matches at the Mania. And I was thinking about him being on the outside for the 4-way tag match. But I'm pretty sure that was at Mania 31 and I've actually backdoored my way into that. I think my logic was wrong and then I'm right by accident.
I was going to say, because one of the tag matches at Mania 30 was that's Outlaws versus the Shield.
Yeah, it was
that's the 6-man tag, isn't it?
Outlaws and Kane.
Yeah. So
I can remember because on that Rumble card, isn't that when was that the Outlaws winning the belts or was that the Outlaws killing the Ascension? It was one of the two.
this
Outlaws
is the Outlaws winning the belts. This is the Outlaws winning.
Because we watched this Rumble. I in town, and I believe it's the one that Flinny came to.
Yes, as far as I
Because
can remember.
Because he wasn't much of a wrestling fan, and he was very confused by the sight of hundreds of people all doing the Outlaws entrance.
So to round off, we'll go through. I'll give you a few guesses for the people that you missed. In at number 3, the savior of the masses,
Sandow.
See, I was thinking of guessing Sandow, and again getting my years wrong because I was thinking he was stunt double. I thought I was thinking he was Damien Mizdow at this point, and that he didn't actually get into the Rumble.
Number 7, Bellator and AEW.
Swagger.
Number 9, one half of the twin tag team,
Nikki Bella.
Well played, KC. Excellent. Well, as we now unfortunately know, the better one, Jay.
Oh,
No.
I thought you. Oh, Primo.
Jimmy
Oh,
Uso.
Primo.
Was it Jimmy? I just
Were
took a
Primo
shot.
and Epico twins?
Cousins. They were
same
cousins. In TNA, in the dark corners of his mind, he was known as Black Rain.
Is it Goldust?
It's Goldust. Number 16, probably the worst world heavyweight champion ever.
Jinder Mahal.
Carly.
It's Carly.
I think we could have a 10-minute debate about which one of those two is worse.
Nah, it's Carly. There's no debate.
No,
reckon
right.
the
Because I could
booking-
look at Carly and think, you know what? Yes, look at the size of him. Jinder, no.
I won like a few grand off Jinder winning the title against Randy Orton, so I like it.
Number 19, the only man that could think of watching Grandmaster Sexay do a leg drop as a finishing move and go, yeah, I'll do that.
Fandango.
Oh, yeah.
Fandango. 23, the other half of that twin tag team.
So this time it's Jimmy, right?
No, this is Afa. 24, the only man to go from a beer drinking Texan to a stock market entrepreneur.
Robshaw.
Big JBL.
God, I wouldn't have
Is this the year he basically walked and talked into the ring and then got eliminated immediately?
Yep.
Yeah.
So they are the ones that you missed.
Ah.
So there actually wasn't that many left, to be fair.
Now we did okay.
I am pleased with my performance despite defeat.
Despite losing.
That honestly, with the way they're booking, that's going to be Ricochet's next promo.
He's basically a Leeds United fan.
It's also going to be Frank Lampard's next press conference, but
No, he blames.
I think that's the
everyone
wrong
else.
podcast.
He blames everyone else.
Yeah.
He's the Miz.
No, that's what I mean. Though. He's pleased with his performance.
Yes, so that'll do us. We might as well plug the last two bits, two of the bits that we started with anyway. So head on over to our Twitter, Armchair Wrestle 1. This wants to line up properly for a chance to win an Armchair Wrestling hoodie. All you've got to do is like, tag a friend, and follow us, and you'll be entered into our draw, which will take place live Saturday, 30th of January. Also, make sure that you're here on Wednesday for our interview with little Petey Pump, Petey Williams.
Yeah. Oh, just as we're on, you did mention it beforehand, but NBC Sport closing.
Yeah.
And therefore USA is getting hockey, which will be on Wednesday nights. You mentioned it before we went on air. I just thought I'd say I just flicked Twitter open, and Dave Meltzer is, as much as, he isn't saying it's definitely going to happen, but he's saying there is a very decent chance this could lead to NXT changing nights.
It's also the brief bit I read, because I didn't find out about this until just before we went on either, that it'd be running until the end of 2021 by looks of things. So there's still a while yet.
Yeah.
So we'll go from the NXT versus AEW to, I don't know, NXT versus Impact.
And AEW versus NASCAR.
Meow. But that'll do us for this episode of Armchair Wrestling. If you want to hear more of Jack and Casey, you can go check them out at the Mighty White Pod on Twitter, Mighty White's podcast, which is a Leeds United-based podcast. You can also check out all three of us on Sunday on Stand Your Ground, which is live 8 p.m. Eastern time, which is, same kickoff time as this, but on Sunday. You can also follow us over on Twitter there, Armchair Wrestle 1. And follow the Buzz at WTB.com on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well. But that'll do us for this episode. So I've been joined by Lukewarm Jack Robshaw.
Nice one, mate. I'll see you in a bit.
I've been joined by Mr. SoCo Uncensored. I almost called you the genetic freak. I miss calling you that.
I miss you calling me that as well.
Mr. SoCo Uncensored himself, Casey.
Have a good one.
And I've been top boy and, well, no longer number one booker because Adam Pearce has fucking taken the title. But we'll see you live next Wednesday.